Yo, what's up? My name is Levi, and I am someone who used to play video games a lot, and I still do quite frequently. Now, we are alike in that we have both transitioned from someone who plays video games like all day, every day, to going to the gym pretty consistently. But our question is, what is the next step in our improvement? That's what I'm going to be discussing today while I play some Winston in Overwatch 2. So let's get right into the first game. We went from playing video games a lot, like me, I played a lot of Fortnite, a lot of Minecraft, a lot of Roblox, a lot of that stuff. And then when I got into middle school or high school, well, for me it was middle school, but it might be high school for you, I started getting into the gym. I think a lot of us can relate to that, and that's why I kind of want to make a video towards this demographic. And what I want to talk about in this video specifically is what is we going to do after the gym, right? Because self-improvement isn't just physical. I'm going to go up here. Self-improvement isn't just physical. It's also a mental and spiritual game, I guess you could say, right? The gym does help with mental health and somewhat does help with physical health. But there's other methods that we can use that can fully, I guess, help us reach our potential in all areas, right? Some of the things that I think the gym helps us with specifically is with discipline. And it also gives us an easy thing that we can do that shows our hard work pay off. However, there are some things that we can lack even with going to the gym. For instance, mindfulness. I have a lot of kids from school, because I'm a high schooler, I'm a junior right now, that I work out with because there's a gym outside my high school that we all walk to. And they're either just like people I work out with or just people I see working out and I say hi sometimes. And they just have no mindfulness. They're either just scrolling in between sets or outside of the gym if I see them somewhere else. They just aren't ever present, or they're just always like, you can just tell that they don't have mindfulness. They're never in the moment, you know? And when they are in the moment, they're doing drugs or something stupid like that, right? And this is important to have. Mindfulness is important because without it, we don't truly live a life, right? A lot of people, they don't have mindfulness. They just exist as a consumer of someone else's work, right? If you go to school, you can see the people in class that just brain rot for 5 hours a day. They're never present. They're just watching someone else's life occur. And that's bad, right? The point of this video is to get you to expand the ways and methods in which you use to improve yourself, right? So the first method that I want to introduce is meditation, right? And what I mean by that is just take some time out of every day that you have to just focus on your breath, or really anything that makes you present in the moment. When you meditate consistently, you become more mindful when you're not, right? And that is something that we should all desire, because without mindfulness, we don't truly live life, as I said. So just sit five minutes a day when you're first starting, maybe 1 minute a day, and then you can build up the time to just be fully present and you won't regret it. But yeah, so the gym does help with mental health, but I think we can improve even more on that aspect, because if you think about people who go to the gym, there's a lot of people who may be physically fit, who may be strong, and may have discipline, but they don't have the right, like, they don't have good intentions, or they don't have good, like, I don't want to say morality, but they're not like a good person, you know? Like, that's not the end all be all of self-improvement. So something that I think can help, and the first thing I want to talk about, which I talk about in a lot of my videos, is I'm trying to ult this Loki, but it's alright. Yeah, that was a terrible ult. But you know, so something that I talk about in a lot of my videos is journaling. And that's where I take over, because I started rambling a bunch. But journaling, as I was saying, is something that the gym doesn't inherently help us improve with, right? It ties into self-awareness, but more than that, it helps us to feel more appreciation for the things we currently have. Not only that, but it also helps us with the problems we still face, right? If everyone like us, you know, goes to the gym consistently, were to pick up journaling, this is what I think would happen, right? Not only would we not have mental health problems with people failing to reach a certain weight lifted, like, I know some people who get like really frustrated about that stuff, but we would actually actively progress in a much more strategic and healthy way, right? And by the way, for all these habits that I'm talking about right now, meditation, journaling, and the ones after this, I've talked about them probably 100 times, right? So if you want to check out my videos in the description so you can learn more, because I'm not going super in depth just because I've talked about this so much, right? But just to kind of give a brief definition, journaling is just writing either what you're grateful for or your internal dialogue to answer the questions you may have trouble with in your own head. If you don't have a good mental health, then you're not going to enjoy life. And who cares if you have a good physical health if you're having a bad, unenjoyable life? So it's important to be able to journal consistently, I think. Journal just about your thoughts, what you're grateful for. And there's multiple types of journaling, which you can watch this other video if you want to. But yeah, I'm probably not going to just talk about it because it's kind of hard. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't saying anything because I was just trying to win real quick or just play the game. These dudes didn't even touch point. They let go of the point. Dang. That's unfortunate for them. So easy Winston stop, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But yo, level 400 Mercy. That's premium glaze, bro. The last thing I'm gonna tell you guys before I just leave the Winston gameplay to itself is I want you guys to start improving not just your physical health, but your mental and spiritual health. That's the key. That's the point of this video. And the last method that I want to leave you with is called a habit tracker, right? This is introduced in a book called Atomic Habits. I've read it a couple times, book by James Clear. Very good book. If you are serious about improving yourself, get that book right now. It's not that expensive, but you should just make a habit tracker every single month and find habits that will fill the void of what you need, what you are lacking specifically. Because some of these methods, maybe you're already mindful when you go to the gym, or maybe you're already grateful when you go to the gym. But this habit tracker is going to ensure that no matter who you are, no matter what you have, you can always improve. And especially, I'm helping you in this video specifically, right? So this last thing is just the most general thing that you can use. A habit tracker, just to explain it, it is a checked off box looking thing for every habit that you are trying to build, right? If you want to check out the video in the description for self-improvement, you'll be taught how to make one, but you can also just Google it, right? But that's all I have. I'm going to let the second game of Winston gameplay go, and then at the end of the video, there'll be 2 videos you can watch that'll improve your life for the better. That's all I got. Thank you for watching, and praise God.
Retribution comes! I'm waiting to see.